Hello! Books bring me so much joy. Why do you think I read? I get so much joy from reading books. Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia. Today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freak out tag. I have been doing this tag 7 years ago, at least 7 years ago. Maybe I'll make a playlist on my channel of all my mid-year book freak out tags, because then you can see me go through every phase of my life. Well, it is 2024's version and I'm doing this a little different. I'm doing it a little off the cuff, spontaneous action. I haven't really looked at these questions. I've done this tag so many times. I've done it every year for at least the last like 5 or 6 years. And I just want to get my raw reactions, like my gut feelings for this tag. This is like confession time. I haven't read as many books as I normally would have by this point in the year. We're halfway through the year and I've read like 55, 6, 7 books. It's a problem and like we're addressing it. I just didn't read a lot in the first half of this year and I'm hoping to change that very soon and read more in the second half of this year. But you know, it's been a slow year for me. It's been a wild ride. I'm hoping to get back to the reading game. With that being said, let's look into this tag. The first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far this year? And for me, that will have to go to Tress of the Emerald Sea. I adore this book. I love the like storybook quality of this book, not storybook as in Once Upon a Time, storybook. And it's so magical and whimsical. I love the narration style of this. I think it's so witty and fun and such a fresh like take on a fantasy story. It feels like a story that's been around for a really long time, even though it came out this year, correct me if I'm wrong. So obsessed with it. Lovely, got a romance in there too, so I love that. Best book I've read this year, and it's Brandon Sanderson, like my guy. He can do no wrong in my eyes. The next question is best sequel you've read this year. I don't mean to start answering the first 2 questions with the same author, but I will have to go with Brandon Sanderson's Words of Radiance. This is the second book in the Stormlight Archive series, noticeably not the third book, because the third book was not as good, but the second book was really good. And I just feel like we upped the stakes. This is such an incredible like high fantasy series. I'm so glad I got into it this year. Well, I guess I got into it last year, but I've read 2 books in the series this year. I've read over 2,000 pages of it this year, so I'm gonna say I got into it this year. I'm obsessed, and I just feel like we got so much more depth to the characters. We got new characters, so much more was going on. Best sequel. The next question is, what is a new release that you haven't read yet but want to? Well, I always make a most anticipated releases shelf for each year on Goodreads. Let's take a look at what I haven't read from that yet, because I have not thought about it. I would have to say Dear Wendy. This is a YA contemporary following an Arrow Ace friendship, and I'm very excited to read it. It's published by Macmillan, so very excited about that. And I have it on my shelves. I bought it, but I haven't read it yet. I think I'm so nervous that I'm not gonna love it. This is what happens with my most anticipated books. I get really nervous because I want to love a book so much, and then I'm like, what if it disappoints me? And like, girl, you read over 100 books a year, like, you'll get over it. But I am a little nervous, but I am also really excited. I'm always looking for more like diverse representations in books, and this is a book that I've just been very, very into and excited to read. What is your most anticipated release for the second half of this year? Now I have to, I'm tied, bear with me. Okay, Intermezzo by Sally Rooney and Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, is that her name? This is my litfic era. It's going to be the fall of litfic and I can't wait. So freaking excited. Actually, like, if you got an arc of Intermezzo, like, kindly like unsubscribe. I cannot deal with that right now. I'm so excited. These are like 2, I mean, like, I've only read 1 book by the author of Cleopatra and Frankenstein, but Sally Rooney? New book by Sally Rooney? Like, what am I gonna do? And if it doesn't hit, genuinely, what am I gonna do? Like, I think I have to like stop making YouTube videos. I'm gonna be so nervous, but I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm always up for more litfic, especially like for my favorite authors and authors that I've loved before. Fall of litfic. It's coming. Next up is biggest disappointment. Ooh, okay. What if I said The Tempest? That's like the first thing that came to mind. Oh, you know what I was disappointed by? The Happy Couple. This is by the author of Exciting Times, which I really enjoyed, but The Happy Couple just felt like Cleopatra and Frankenstein and Conversation with Friends, but not as good. And that was just very disappointing to me because I was very excited because I loved Exciting Times, but unfortunately, did not work for me. Don't say The Tempest, Pia. The chokehold Shakespeare has on me right now. Next up is what is the biggest surprise? I would say the biggest surprise would have to go to Lapvana by Tessa Moshfegh. I've been in my Tessa Moshfegh bag lately, and this book is so crazy, so kooky, I don't understand it at all. Someone explain it to me. It's just so like gross, oddly, like it's so descriptive in the grossest ways. I didn't like it, but like I also didn't know what to do once I read it. I was just like, that was a book? Like I have no idea. Like that book was so strange, and if you've read it, like let me know your thoughts in the comments right now, because like kindly what the fuck. Next up is your new favorite author. Now the obvious ones that I've like read a lot of books by this year have been Brandon Sanderson, Tessa Moshfegh, William J. Shakespeare. Well, those are the only people that I've read repeat things by that are new to me. Those are like my favorites, but I would say the ones to watch that I've only read one book from would be Emily Hayback, the author of Sharkheart, Zakiya Dahlia Harris. I've only read one book by both of those authors, but I did really enjoy both of those books. So. Newest fictional crush is number 8. Ooh, who have I been sipping for lately? Let me tell you. The thing is, I would love a character and not know their name. Jacob, okay, Jacob and yours truly can kindly just like come over right now. Genuinely, like this little anxious bean of a man is what I'm looking for, what I want most in the world. I would also say that Cordelia Carstairs would be my second fictional crush, because she just slays and she eats. She wields Cortana, so she's like kind of a beast. Like I'm obsessed with her. So I feel like those would be my 2. Newest favorite characters, question number 9. Ooh, I would have to say the main character in My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Unnamed as they may be, they are my newest favorite character, because life goals. Like, life goals, how I want to deal with my problems is also go to sleep for a year. Like yeah, sounds about right to me. But on a serious note, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. On a more serious note, Maddie from Mame is another favorite character. Question number 10 is books that made you cry. Well, I did cry reading Funny Story. Tell me about that. I cried probably like the time you would least expect, but you know what I did, and we're not getting into it right now. That is one book that made me cry. I don't cry very often. What that says about me, like I also don't want to go there. Yeah, I think that's the only time I've cried. Sorry, stone cold bitch. Like, what do you mean? Question number 10 is a book that made you happy. Oh, books bring me so much joy. Why do you think I read? I get so much joy from reading books. What has brought me happiness in this cruel, cruel world? You know what? Half a Soul. Half a Soul brought me so much happiness. What a fun little story. Half a Soul, sweet Regency fairy tale vibes. It was so fun and funky fresh. I read that in like 24 hours. Read that very fast, but I really enjoyed it. Favorite book to movie adaptation you've seen so far this year? Now I feel like there haven't been a lot. I cannot say The Idea of You, so sorry. So sorry to all the girlies that watched that video. Could not say The Idea of You, not my fave. Wait, let me just check my letterboxd real fast. My favorite adaptations that I've seen this year did not in fact come out this year. No siree. It came out in 2014, like 10 years ago. Paper Towns. I saw Paper Towns for the first time this year. Forced to watch it, gun at my head, to watch Paper Towns, and I did watch it. I did cry. That was one other time I cried. Ooh, it hurt. It hit and it hurt, and that was really good. That's my favorite adaptation I've seen this year. That came out 10 years ago. But the last question, it seems, are what books do you really need to read by the end of this year? Now, besides like my most anticipated and such, really need to read The Rhythm of War this year. I know Brandon Sanderson keeps getting like the most shout outs this year. Sorry, but do need to read that book. I would also like to read Ruthless Vows, which is the sequel to Divine Rivals, because that's a sequel that I would like to get to. Yeah, another sequel I want to get to is Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands. I mostly just want to get to sequels. I think those are like the highest priorities, are like me continuing series, because I can always pick up a standalone anytime, any place. So mostly those are the sequels that I want to get to. I also would really like to try Dolly Alderton's books at some point. Any of her books I just really want to try this year. That about wraps up this mid-year book freakout tag. I'm not freaking out. Are you freaking out? It's the middle of the year. It's almost 2025. How do we feel? I have had quite a year so far, so very excited for what's to come in the second half of 2024. Let me know some things that you're planning on reading in the second half of the year, or what you're looking forward to releasing. And with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!